Hi, I'm back. In the prior video, I was talking about, I had mentioned how my mom, my wonderful mother, I wish she was, God bless her soul, mentioned how she says an very analytical person. I analyze everything. She's right. Why do I ever? The best way I can explain, sometimes my brain is like on overdrive a lot, and it's hard for me to even sleep sometimes. I can't just lay down and go to rest sometimes. I gotta really meditate or focus if I really want to make myself go to sleep. Otherwise, my brain will start speeding around without me even realizing it is, and then I'm like thinking about all this stuff, So I'm laying there, not sleeping, just my brain's thinking about this, thinking about that, And right now, because of my situation, my brain thinks about different stuff because of different stresses that I have to deal with, that I don't know how I'm gonna get past each day and all that kind of stuff. So now my brain's racing on different stuff. But an example of how my brain works is, and being analytical, is I could walk into a room and like if I hadn't been in my camper before, and I didn't know if I go in the camper and this is my first time in here, my brain sees everything that's in here. Now, not only is it seeing everything in there, but I can't say so much the running of the vehicle, because I already know about mechanics on vehicles and stuff. But like if I seen this USB, I wonder if this is going to show. Right here, this is a USB rechargeable little fan, and by my mind, while I see the different things in here, not only do I see the stuff that might be new to my mind, but I might think about this USB fan, who designed it, how it works, how many volts is it running on, how long does it take to recharge it, my brain just, I might think of the chairs and these captain chairs and how they were designed, and who invented the lifting sidearms on them and stuff, or the camera that I'm filming on, and how it works, and how somebody made it so small and pocket size with all the technology and circuits in it, and yet it still films a pretty dang good image, so all these different things, my mind sees everything, but then each thing, it makes me think about its whole history, how it became to be, what makes it run, especially when it gets into electronics, plumbing, because electronics is just like, brain's just like, ooh, integrated circuits, capacitors, resistors, circuit boards, voltage, current flow, resistance is futile. That's from Star Trek. But so sometimes my mind and it's doing this all at once, and it could be happening while I'm having a conversation with somebody. I could see something new electronic or something that might grab my attention a little bit while I'm conversating. My brain's, while I'm having a conversation with somebody, I'm listening to them, and we're having a good conversation. I'm not ignoring them, but my brain over here, it's almost like I have multiple brains or something. It's still thinking about, this cool TV I just seen, and what's in that, or something, or some other tech or something, I don't know. Or it might be, a garbage truck can pick up this dumpster here and dump it. And then I'm thinking about the hydraulics on that, and how that was all designed and laid out, of how their business runs, and how they make their money, and how many accounts they have, and so my brain just, I don't know, that's just the best way I can explain where I'm analytical. I don't voice that to everybody all the time, but that's what's going on in my mind, It's analyzing everything. Not always, but sometimes it does. It gets into overdrive like that. My stepfather, awesome man. I think I've talked about it before in one of the videos, about how he would bring up a song he'd like or something, and then I'd start singing the lyrics, and he'd just look at me like, and he'd say another song, and I'd just start singing the lyrics, and it's either singing them or just saying them like as if I was reading them or poetry or something like that, depending on the song and the situation. And he was just so intrigued by that. He's like, how do you know all these different songs and all the different lyrics and everything? I said, I don't know, Dad. It's like, I told him, I said, for you younger people, you might not know what a Rolodex is, but my dad had a Rolodex on his desk that had all business cards in it, alphabetized, that you could roll it to whatever part of the alphabet and look through it. Then he could look for his different business contacts and stuff. And that's kind of how I told Dad it was in my mind. It's kind of like I have a huge Rolodex in my mind with everything I've ever learned, everything I've ever seen. And just one little thing can make it click. It's like it just brings me right to that file and opens it up. And then I see all the lyrics, or with lyrics, a lot of it's because of the song and the melody and the music that goes with it is what helps me remember the lyrics, because I can remember the music too, and I can even do my best to imitate the music, whether I'm near or else so my brain typically tell I don't know, maybe I'm just a weirdo. But I like me. Everybody else seems to like me quite a bit. This is a rarity for me to blab on about this stuff. I don't like telling everybody that kind of stuff. Unless they ask questions about my intelligence or how do I know stuff or whatever. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. My brain is like a dry sponge and knowledge is water. I just want to soak it up. It's getting less so these days as I'm getting older and with the stress I got going on. Right now I'm more in survival mode. Trying to be in survival mode anyway. I feel bad for everybody that's in survival mode. I don't think God made us to be in survival mode as much as people are. I don't think we're supposed to be able to daydream or dream and create and have ideas. It's hard to do that when you're put in situations where you're in survival mode. It's really hard for people to dream when they're in survival mode. And this whole world could be a much better place, in my opinion, if we could really help some of the homeless situations around the world and create a better solution for it all. So we could free some people up to do actually something, having time to think instead of surviving. Everything happens for a reason, so I don't know. Wish I understood why at all and everything, but getting pretty close to it. Maybe I can get it all figured out and get it on film out here on this channel. And hopefully all the stuff I talk about, hopefully it really do. I hope it helps people. Different videos that people see, I hope it helps. I wish I could be all over the place at once so I could just go hang out with people and meet them. Anybody that had that interest to want to hang out and talk about stuff, I wish I could do that. I'd love to share anything that I have, any knowledge, or teach anybody anything that I could teach them or help them with. I would like to do that. My one friend asked me one time asked me if I knew how to do different stuff. She asked me if I knew how to do tax paperwork and business paperwork and stuff and all this other stuff. I was like, yes. I said, you hit me on a weak spot. I know how to do that stuff. I'm very smart with paperwork, legal work, law, all kinds of stuff, but that's not stuff I really like. I know how to do it, but I don't like to. I sure hope if I'm lucky enough, because I've always wanted to, have a significant other and get married and share life with somebody. Got to share life with lots of people, not just in an intimate relationship, but with your friends and everything too, And I hope that if I'm blessed enough to have those things I desire in life, I'm hoping that whoever my future wife is or whatever, I hope she likes doing that paperwork stuff. Because I don't like doing that stuff. I know how, but I don't want to. I like experience in life. I like getting my hands in there. I used to like turning wrenches and dealing with mechanical stuff, but now I'm getting older. I know how to do so much stuff, but my body doesn't want to do it anymore. For some reason, my body wants to take it a little easier because it hurts more doing stuff. And I want to live life. There's a lot I want to see. So many things I want to see and do yet. So I've got a pretty big expanding bucket list. I haven't written it down yet, but probably not as huge as I feel like it is. The world's so huge, there's lots of things I'd like to do. And at least there's so many wonders of the world I want to see and stuff. But then when stuff starts getting crazy around the planet, different wars and stuff, all that ugly stuff, then I got like, well, maybe I better just stay right here in America. And then I figured, well, I'll just stay on the continent. I could go to Mexico or Canada, because we're all on the same continent there. That'd be okay, because I figure if something bad happens, I'm a pretty smart guy. I can find my way back home to where I feel comfortable or something. But that's starting to change in me too. I still want to see a lot of stuff in America. I really do. But now I'm starting to even feel about stuff around the world that I'd like to see again. And for a while, I didn't care to do that just because how crazy the world got. Well, now I just feel like I got a time clock ticking, and I've only got so much time left. So there's things I want to do. I don't want to pass on and be like, oh, I wish I would have done that, or I wish I would have done this. Well, this is definitely warmed up enough. Where are we at here? Well, we'll get her in this. I gotta get rolling before I run out of diesel, and I'm burning gas here too. Thanks for watching. Give it the old thumbs up if you will, please. Thank you very much. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one.